10 Things I Absolutely Love really does sound like that movie. No, that's 10 Things I Hate About You. I should have said that last week. Anyway, that ties in. My name's Simon Miller, by the way. Thank you for joining me on my weird and wonderful YouTube journey. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I just did a random video called 10 Weird Things You May Not Know About Me, and it did well and people liked it. So the following Friday, I did 10 Things I Absolutely Hate, and people liked it. So I thought I'd just continue the trilogy on. And until I run out of these things, I'll do one every Friday. Move my microphone a little bit there. In the comments below, please do let me know what else I can do these on. I'll run out of ideas pretty quickly, I would imagine. I mean, going from hate to love is like YouTube 101 as it is. And as we are talking about YouTube etiquette, please like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I've got Patreon, patreon.com/Simon Miller Report. No, that's not it. Patreon.com/Simon Miller 316. And simonmiller.bigcartel.com if you would like to buy some merchandise. What a world we live in where I have merchandise. There you go. There's a thing I love, but let's do it. Let's just get on with it. Who knows? My name's Simon Miller. It's 10 Things I Absolutely Love. Right, the first one is, if you watch any of my stuff or have any idea of who I am, it's like, yeah, we know Miller, but you know, it's supposed to be a real list too, so that if you do stumble across this, you learn a bit about me. Why you'd want that, I don't know. But the gym. I love the gym. I walked into a gym when I was 16 years old. It's a true story, as much of an asshole as it makes me. I did one bicep curl, and I was like, that is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. And I kept doing it, and I learned about nutrition, I learned about supplements, and I learned about splits, and I learned about all these things, and I haven't been able to stop doing it and to try and make these, you know, have a bit more depth. I know how much I love it because I injured my shoulder being a pro wrestler last year. We'll get to it, don't worry. And that's the thing, I missed wrestling desperately, but the thing I realized kind of grounds and cements my life is the gym, it's working out, it's fitness. It's probably my biggest passion when you look at, you know, life. And when you look at life like this, I mean, don't get me wrong, the gym is full of assholes. I understand this, I'm aware. The people that grunt and the people that make a big noise and the people that want to lift too much weight, even though they clearly aren't able to lift that weight, and they'll get someone to spot them and they'll go like, ugh. And they do that. They do this much range of motion. They go, yeah. And you're like, ugh, go away. But no, I do. And I think the other reason I love it is because, again, you know, full transparency, full honesty. I was bullied really badly when I was a kid. And then when I realized I could kind of, you know, get bigger and get more confidence and get more self-worth, and that was the best way to try and, you know, hold your own, that was it. Shut it down. Which kind of ties into number 9, another obvious one, but I'm trying to connect these two, is professional wrestling. As I've just insinuated, if you don't know, I am a professional wrestler now, something I'm still very proud of and laugh sometimes because why do I sound like an absolute moron? Not that professional wrestling is bad, but because I've only had like, you know, 12 matches, whatever. And I guess it's still a little part of me where it's like, can I say this? Am I allowed to say this? I feel like there should be some kind of like professional wrestling guy you ring up and you go, am I allowed to tell people I'm a pro wrestler now? And they go, well, are you any good? You're like, I don't know. And you send them a match, and then you get a bit of form that says, okay, you're good to go. But anyway, the reason I bring up wrestling, aside from the pageantry and the showmanship and the athleticism and everything that comes along with it, it is, you know, it ties into the whole gym stuff, because I would look at these guys on my TV and I'd be like, wow, they look like real life superheroes. Wouldn't it be great to look like that? So that also became my inspiration and my motivation. Hence why the gym being my biggest passion is also wrestling being my biggest passion, because there's a connection there. And really, when people say, why do you like it? You always get the idiot that goes, why do you like just a bunch of people rolling around in their pants? And you're like, if you break anything down to that degree, it sounds stupid. Like tennis. It's just a couple of people with bits of plastic smashing balls at each other. Yeah, what was that? It sounds bizarre, but everyone warms to things differently. Like, I don't like cricket. Cricket World Cup is on right now. Not really for me, but I understand why somebody would like it, because everyone's got different brains. Professional wrestling is just something that I warmed to very early. I was about 6 years old, turned on my TV. There was Bret Hart putting on the sharpshooter, wearing pink and black, and his hair and his glasses. I was like, what is this? My eyes went all weird, and that was that. I'm going to be hooked for life. I took some time off, I think when I was in university, because it was harder to watch. But outside of that, as soon as I fell back into it, well, clearly, I was like, let's make this my life, because not only do I professional wrestle, but I cover professional wrestling as well. That's why some people go, Miller, you're such a nerd, you're such a mark. I'm like, yeah, I'm aware of this. That's not an insult to me. I review Raw and SmackDown every week. Of course I'm a mark, of course. Number 8 is Metallica. We've already done kind of Metallica, didn't we? Because we did the whole weird things about me, and I told you about my love for Metallica, but we can't have a top 10 list without me mentioning Metallica. I bleed Metallica. Doesn't make sense. There used to be that t-shirt, still out there, I'm sure. It said like birth, school, Metallica, death. Not a great life. I'm just going to be honest with you. If that is your life, as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. But if you get born and you go to school And then you listen to Metallica for what? So you leave school at 16. So I say 26, 36, 46, 56, 76, 60 years. And then you die. I don't necessarily think you took advantage. Number 7 is Batman. Now, there's a whole vlog about Batman, but it hasn't come up on this particular series, so I think we can ink it in here. But it kind of ties into the other 3. Because basically what happened when I was 16, I didn't really know what the hell I was. I mean, I knew I was a human being. I'm not saying I thought I was a slug. I knew I wasn't a slug. I wasn't stupid. But I was trying to figure out who I was as an individual. And all these things that I've mentioned, don't have to look down. That's where the list is. Let me just check. It's the same. But all these things kind of came together. So I found Metallica, and that made me realize how much I love music. Because everybody in my school was listening to like R&B. And R&B is all right, but it didn't really speak to me how, when you find that genre that you love so much. Then obviously wrestling I'd had for about 10 years. The gym and Metallica all came about when I was 16. And Batman was this ever-present, thing in the background. I don't know what the first Batman interaction I had was. It must have been the Batman movie, because I found the Batman movie with Tim Burton and Michael Keaton first. And then I learned about the comics and graphic novels. And they kind of all came together. But I think it was just the fact that I used to read Superman and Marvel comics. And I do like Superman and Marvel. I'm not saying otherwise. But Batman had such an edge to it. And it was so dark. And it was so gritty. And then when you read The Dark Knight Returns, which is about an older Batman who's just pissed off. It's just Grumpy Old Man. It should be called Grumpy Old Man who dresses as a bat. And it was just such a different way to look at it. And I think it kind of tied into wrestling, because some of my favourite parts of wrestling was things like The Undertaker or Kane when he arrived. And, again, there was an eeriness to it. It was silly, but a man dressing up as a bat is silly. But because they believed in it, and because they would, and especially because he became a bat, and actually become a bat, but he became Batman because of the death of his parents. One person in the comments now goes, spoiler! And I'm like, oh, go away. It's like, we breathe. We're humans. What? But that, to me, I guess as a kid, when you're still quite innocent and you think, oh my gosh, he took himself to do good onto the world because he'd experienced such bad. And then you get into the whole thing with what's his real mask and who's the real Batman and is Bruce Wayne the alter ego. It's just fascinating. And the 3 Christopher Nolan films, what is it, Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises, I love them so much that when people say, what is your favourite film? I don't answer those because they go above films for me. That's how much I love them. Which ties into number 6, which is The Shawshank Redemption. I love The Shawshank Redemption. It's one of those movies that it can be an hour and 10 minutes in, and I'll catch it on ITV2. That's a channel over here in the UK, if I don't know, that for a while just played The Shawshank Redemption. I don't think they had any other... all they used their money for was to play The Shawshank Redemption at 8 to 9 to 10 p.m. on a Saturday. But anytime you can, I have to watch the whole thing. I will always watch the whole thing. And it's always a joy. Like, I don't know whether it's the performances. Obviously, Morgan Freeman's in it. He kicks ass. Who the hell is the name of Andy Dufresne? Oh, that sucks, doesn't it? I know that guy's name anyway. I'll regret that later. Such is the life of a vlog. But everything in it is so well put together. And the production, the music, just the sheer story of somebody overcoming that kind of adversity and coming out the other side. It's just brilliant. I think it is, but again, given what we just said about the Batman movies, I think The Shawshank Redemption is my favourite movie ever, which makes me a loser. What a boring answer. That's like someone saying, what's your favourite food? Hamburger. Like, come on. Give me something interesting. Like hamburgers. You're a moron. But that's... Nothing wrong with liking hamburgers, by the way. But that's why... But it's true. It's true that point telling otherwise. I love that movie, and it still affects me emotionally. When they hug at the end, or that line where Morgan Freeman goes... Or Red, I should say. Goes, I guess I just missed my friend. Right there. Right there. Some people may have never seen it. Go and watch The Shawshank Redemption. The only reason it didn't win any Oscars, can you believe it, is that it came out in the same year as Forrest Gump. Can't watch Forrest Gump. I just get to the bit where he's reunited with Jenny and stop. Cannot handle that grave scene. But that's the only reason, because this other incredible movie happened to come out within that time frame. Ridiculous. Number 5 is Keanu Reeves. Now, I don't think I realised how much I love Keanu Reeves until this year. But he popped up at E3 because he's going to be working with CD Projekt Red on Cyberpunk 2077. He's remaking a new Bill and Ted, or making a new Bill and Ted film. And every time you see him in interviews, just like, what a cool guy. What a nice guy. Not motivated by money, motivated by the story, motivated by ideas and creativity. Apparently gave a huge part of his... what he was offered for The Matrix. He said, no. I'll take this, give the rest of the percentage to the production teams. We've got to make this movie look as good as you guys want it to. And he's got amazing hair, and he's 54. Plus, he's had a really hard life. I mean, I know he has the spoils of being a famous celebrity, but in terms of his personal life, not easy at all. Just like Keanu Reeves. I didn't know that. That's exclusive, brand new information. Number 4 is cookie dough ice cream. Honestly, to the point, I have a cheat meal once a week. We've talked about that with bodybuilding, blah, blah, boring. But when I have ice cream, which I try and do once a week, I love ice cream, I have Ben and Jerry's. And if I go to the cinema where you get the choice, you can have cookie dough ice cream, you can have the switch up one, which is cookie dough and fudge brownie, and you can have that cookie dough one that is lighter calories. I asked for one of each. That's how much I love cookie dough ice cream. And I understand there are other ice creams, and every now and then I will venture out. But really, when I'm eating that, I'm thinking, I should have just had cookie dough ice cream. I've never even had cookie dough by itself. I only like it when it's planted in cream that has been iced. I can't explain it, but I love it. And I want some right now. And I worry that if I ever give up the gym or I lose my passion, I'll be massively fat. And people go, Miller, what are you doing? And I'll just be eating cookie dough ice cream all the time. And I won't even give a shib. I'll be like, I don't care, man. I'm just call me cookie dough. Call me CD. Don't do that. Number 3 is this GIF. I look at this GIF once a day. That sounds weird. That sounds like it's a robotic thing that I do. That's not true. But I've never not seen this GIF and not laughed. Do with that what you will. I just think that a bird can be that much of a dick. And I like to question it. Why is he being that much of a dick? What is it? Does he know he's being that much as a dick? Or is it something that's just built into him? Are some birds just born dicks? We're never going to know. Love it. Number 2 is eggs. This makes me sound psychotic. I'm aware. But I think as long as you're aware, because you can't be quote unquote insane if you know you're insane. Because to be insane, you have to think that you're sane. That's a whole other vlog. But I have 12 eggs a day. I have 6 eggs in the morning, 4 whole eggs and 2 egg whites, and I have 6 egg whites before I go to bed. Now, this got to the point where I didn't realize it was an abnormality. And then you meet other people that don't do this, and they kind of look at you like you just slap their mums. They're like, what are you doing? But yeah, I have 12 eggs a day. That's how I get my protein. Obviously, I eat a bodybuilding diet. And I could substitute that for chicken, but that's how much I like eggs. There was a period in my life where I couldn't eat eggs, because I'd overeaten them. And even the smell made me want to go, whoop. But now, you can have them with everything. They just work. I think I probably would pick chicken over eggs. You can do more with chicken. But I get excited about eating eggs every day. I think I'm weird. In fact, I am. And I worry sometimes about it. It's not true, I don't. I'm really sort of self-assured as a person nowadays. If you're watching this going, Millie, you're weird for eating eggs, I'm like, yeah, I am. And that's the end of that conversation. It's like when some people go to do karaoke and they know they're bad and they're doing it just because it's fun. I think I've done this last week. I'm doing it again. Someone goes, you were crap at karaoke. And then they're surprised when that person goes, yeah, I know. What did you expect? If you expect, Freddie Mercury or a Freddie Mercury level performer out of a karaoke, your expectations are too high. Number 1 is life. It's not life, it's a joke. It's this guy. It's my favorite guy. It's the guy on Twitter who I get every single week, and he makes me happy. I don't know if I'll be able to find a specific tweet. I'll do my best. But it's the guy who watches Ups and Downs, which is a show I have over on What Culture Wrestling, where, good bits on Raw or SmackDown or any kind of pro wrestling event. If I like it, I give it up, point upwards. If I don't like it, I give it down. Sometimes I don't even point down, I point up by accident. But, it just happens. And somebody will be so annoyed and so mad that I gave something an up. Give it an up. Doesn't even make sense. They will tweet me to say, you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace. You're an embarrassment to pro wrestling. You shouldn't be. This was someone said the other day. You shouldn't be a pro wrestler. How in hell could you give that segment an up? And I go, because I liked it. They go, how could you like it? You're an idiot. WWE is dying. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. This is as far as it goes. And they go on and on and on. I get this all the time, and I love it. I think it's hilarious. I love the fact that I have such power. Power I didn't even know that I had. I can say, that segment wasn't good a down. Like, how dare? So I give a Bailey segment a down. How dare you give the Bailey segment a down? Don't you know how hard she was trying? I'm like, dude, I think Bailey's awesome. Just didn't particularly like that segment. It's incredible, isn't it? It happens with Dave Meltzer reviews. He's a wrestling guy. Happens with Mark Kermode, the film critic. Anyone that kind of manages to, so someone finds out that they've got an opinion that's public and it gathers some kind of support. You can completely ruin someone's brain by disagreeing with their opinion. And I think that's amazing. And I think it's great. And I love the fact that people care that much that they want to let me know. So keep doing it. I'll keep looking out for it every week. It's wonderful. That's it. That's 10 things I love. There's plenty more things we could have talked about, but they're the ones I felt should go in this list and hopefully make, again, for a balanced video. But again, in the comments below, what else can we do? We've done 10 things, weird things you didn't know about me, 10 things I absolutely hate, 10 things I absolutely love. There's got to be more. Try and keep them varied. I don't want everyone we could do, but I don't think we need to get too specific, like 10 Metallica tracks I like, because I think there's things we could do within that. So try and be a bit varied, a bit generic. That would be cool. And I'll just keep doing these every Friday until I run them into the ground. because that's what everyone else does on YouTube, so why can't I? Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, that's really important, please do that. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at SimonMiller316. Big Cartel is there, simonmiller.bigcartel.com, patreon.com/SimonMiller316, that's it, that's my Patreon. Thanks for watching, thanks for supporting these videos, I think they're really fun. It's just me sat here, you don't even know what this microphone is balanced on. I got a pile of books, because it wasn't high enough to my mouth. That's the technical setup I have here. Don't love that so much, but it worked. Smart. See you soon.